All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Over a Couple of Beers. I'm Jason Cercone. I'm here with my broadcast partner, Jason Collins.
Howdy.
And feels good to be back behind the mic. It's been a couple weeks, 1 week off, right? We took a little hiatus last week to cool down from our Virginia Beach trip, from our WrestleMania predictions, and had a little bit of talk amongst ourselves, and we decided that we're going to rededicate our beer podcast to be about beer. And this is the perfect time to do that because I don't know about you, I've got a little special flutter in my heart because it's that time of year. It's April. In Pittsburgh, that means it's time for Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week. And we're ready to rock and roll with a little preview show to get rolling for what's going to kick off next week on April 17th.
And a special guest.
Yeah, we have, and we should say we're here this week from Blue Dust down in Homestead. They are our PCBN mobile sponsors for the month of April. We're joined by bar manager Stephanie Dickson. Welcome, Steph.
Hi, everybody.
She's going to give us a little bit of insight on the huge event that Blue Dust is going to be throwing, and we'll kick off with that. As I said, we're going to try to cover, and again, I want to give my hats off to the Beer Week Committee and the Board of Directors for all of their hard work in putting together what's looking like another incredible Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week. This is going to be the fourth year that this has been going down in Pittsburgh. We've been a big part of this event in regards to being attendees.
Yes,
and I know
I was also on the planning committee for the first year,
and I was on one of the committees last year as well. And it's really evolved every year. We've been talking about it a lot, so it really makes me happy that we're able to sit down and do a full show talking about all the great things that are going to be going on here in Pittsburgh. So we're going to kick off with what's happening down underneath the Homestead Grays Bridge on April 25th. The Oyster Fest last year was the debut edition, but instead of having me talk about it, I'm going to let Stephanie tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. So fire away, Steph.
Well, again, he did say April 25th at 1 p.m. The event runs until 10 p.m. and is free for admission. We do have beer tickets available underneath the bridge. You can purchase those for $6 a piece, and it is cash only. Now, typically with anything that we do under the bridge, it's going to be just a big party. We have
I like parties.
Yes. We have food trucks coming. There's going to be steer and wheel, blowfish barbecue, sanctuary, and street foods as well. I'll be making our craft cocktails. I'm going to do some infused oyster shooters, a couple spicy...
Peach fused tequila?
Yes, there's going to be spicy infused tequila.
Excuse me?
It's just the shit.
Spicy infused tequila. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yes. I'm in for that.
What type of tequila is the infusing going with?
I usually use a gold tequila as the base. It's going to have jalapeno, pineapple, and strawberry as well.
Wow. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. And then we also have over 20 craft beers underneath the tent. Of course, Rogue getting top bidding for that since they were gracious enough to send us the oysters.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So how many oysters do you guys fly in for this event?
I believe that there are a couple bushels coming. They're from the Waukena Bay in Oregon. It's really, really close to where they actually have their Rogue Farm property.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm asking for my dad. He's a huge oyster fan. I'm trying to get him to come down for this. So.
Yes. Yeah, West Coast oysters are definitely my favorite. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I could speak to what happened last year. I came down for it, and it was a lot of fun. Live music, to sit underneath the bridge and have a couple beers, food trucks going crazy, oysters left and right. It's really, really a good time. So there's a lot that we're probably not going to talk about. Is there anything more that you want to talk about in regards to the big stuff to expect?
No. It'll be just a great party. Come on down, bring the whole family, bring your dog.
I don't have a dog, but I will get a dog.
I have two.
I know he'll have a good
I'll
time.
bring one for him.
All right, cool. Then I'm set.
Yes.
So, with Blue Dust being our PCBM mobile sponsor this month, all of the information on the Oyster Fest can be found on their special icon on the app for this month. And also there is a coupon for one half-price chili dog.
Yes.
Since pirate season is underway and off to a remarkable start. Right, what are we, 0-3? Yeah. Something like that. I'm so removed from sports right now.
It's
I feel
162
kinda bad.
games. You
I
got
know.
time
There's
to.
still time to bounce back.
Right.
Nevertheless,
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I think what's missing is that if you haven't downloaded the app and come down to check out Blue Dust Chili Dog, that's going to send some good juju towards the Pirates in order to get this thing turned around. Totally speaking out of my ass.
Everybody likes good juju.
That's true. So come on down here, check it out. All you got to do is download the app. The coupon's free. Get some information on the Oyster Fest, and that'll be on April 25th. Going to be a good time, but that's going to be towards the end of the week. I sat down last night and kind of put together a little bit of Steph's going to walk away. We'll see in a bit. Feel free
pop
to,
in and out.
Yeah, pop in whenever you like. I put together.
She's only at work and all,
Yeah, right. I put together a little itinerary a couple weeks ago, and I had marked it tentative, and I knew that was going to happen because it happens every year. As soon as I put together my potential roadmap of where I want to go during Beer Week, 5 new places, post awesome events that I want to try to work into that. So that's what's happening.
It never works. You can never get to all the ones you want to. You have to literally sit there and do process of elimination and just figure out how you're going to pull it off.
I know. I mean, and I know that with last year during the Oyster Fest, I think I hit 5 events that day, and it was just you start early
and
you
rough day.
And you end late. You're all over Pittsburgh. But that's what's cool about what this event has become is there's stuff going on all over town. There's destination events such as the Oyster Fest. There's events happening probably in your neighborhood that if you're not looking to venture too far, it's a good time to get out and learn about what's going on the craft beer scene here in Pittsburgh. These guys do a remarkable job of providing education, to putting together unique events, and that 10-day period is a good time to really see what it's all about. So we've got 10 days worth of stuff to talk about, but again, we're not going to be able to fill that all in an hour. There's no doubt that we're going to
the amount of stuff we want to talk about today is kind of off the charts. So
yeah, there's no question.
Bear with us. We're going to be rambling on about a lot of stuff. I mean, there's the amount of events that there is, the places that are having them. We're going to try to touch on as much as we can. There's a couple things in the national beer scene we want to touch on real quick, and also real quick, let's go over since this is the Over a Couple of Beers podcast. What are you drinking?
I have a Stone and Joy by 420.
Very good.
Giggity.
I have the habanero sculpin, which is
how's that treating you?
It's lighting my face on fire.
Dude, you guys gotta understand, this dude is someone I've known to just absolutely love hot things, and he's sweating.
Yeah, I'm sweating. My lips are burning, and my throat is burning. This is, and I've had some habanero beers before. This is by far the hottest habanero beer I've ever had.
I had a sip myself, and yeah, it's rough, but it is good. I mean, it's got that.
It's still sculpin.
It's got sculpin characteristics, but if you're not into hot stuff, you might want to have a chaser right next to you. Water or the nice tequila infused stuff.
Well, like I said, I'll be washing it down with the Enjoy by after this.
I highly recommend. So again, there's some big events that we're going to be looking at going on during Craft Beer Week. As we had mentioned, the Oyster Fest is a big one towards the end of the week. Kicking things off on Friday, April 17th. You've heard us talk about this extensively, and I know I've talked about it a lot because I went to see the world premiere of the Blood, Sweat, and Beer documentary made by Chip Heidner and Alexis Irvin, featuring the Brew Gentlemen.
We're not in Vegas.
Not in Vegas. Yes.
I blued myself.
Yeah, this could be one of those national podcast things. This could be the one that lifts us off the ground.
Right.
Probably not. So, sticking to the local flavor, the Brew Gentlemen are featured in this movie. It's a fantastic documentary. It's going to be showing all week at the Row House Cinema and Atlas Bottle Works. Friday, April 17th is the Pittsburgh premiere with Tap Takeover by the Brew Gentlemen starting at 6 o'clock. I'm very happy and excited to say that we're going to actually be able to record a podcast with Matt and Asa and the two producers, Chip and Alexis, before the premiere. So that's something we'll be able to drop for you next weekend. But it's going to be a lot of fun for us to be able to sit down with them and get the perspective of how the movie was made and the success they've been having with it. They've been on a tremendous countrywide tour with that movie, and it's going to be nice to get some insight about how that's been going. So,
by the way, there's trains going by here on a
if you
basis,
hear the horns, if you've been to Blue Dust, you know exactly what's going on. We're going to do this on the patio, but figured that might.
It doesn't really sound like we're
sound quality.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're picking up too much of it, but there's some trains going by too.
So, again, April 17th is the Brew Gentlemen World Premiere, the Blood, Sweat, and Beer premiere. Great documentary for you to check out. There will be additional screenings throughout Craft Beer Week. I did post an icon for Blood, Sweat, and Beer on the PCBN mobile app with all the screening times. So check that out if you can't make the premiere. So that's one big event I know I'm looking forward to, guys.
Yep.
Definitely.
Rolling on into Saturday, down at the Pittsburgh Public Market, the home brewing demonstration is going to be held by the Three Rivers Underground Brewers. This event is to promote Brewing Up a Cure, which, as you guys probably know, Brewing Up a Cure is a fantastic event here in Pittsburgh that showcases a lot of the home brewers and the incredible beer that they're creating.
Right.
And this event is going to give you firsthand knowledge of what they do in regards to brewing at home. They're going to have some home brews there for you to sample.
Yeah, my crappy beer won't be there.
Well, you know what? Let's revisit that real quick because we don't have a ton of time. But did you ever open one of those IPAs that we talked about on the Sour podcast?
I didn't, and I really thought about it the other night. I was downstairs, and my whole brewing setup was sitting there, and I opened the one cupboard, and there was all kinds of beer sitting there. I'm like, should I do it? But do I want food poisoning? I don't know if I should do this. I homebrewed. It's been a while. Like, I was doing it, and I did one like 2 years ago, and I haven't done one since. And it's been sitting there, just sitting there. So I don't know if it's going to get better with age, if it's just rotten at this point, or what's going on. But
in my experience, you have to drink the IPAs pretty quickly.
Right. Well, the thing is I opened one a year later, and it actually tastes better a year later than it did after I first brewed it. So who knows? I will definitely be dumping it into a glass first, though. I'm not going to take that risk.
Would we define that as an IPA then?
Right. Well, yeah. Now maybe it's some sort of new beer. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
you should take it down there to see if it's become something that no one's ever heard of. You may break some ground.
It's like kimchi now. It's the kimchi of beers. It's just rotten cabbage.
So they're going to be promoting Brewing Up a Cure. It's and Brewing Up a Cure is going to be on October 17th of this year down the road, but this is going to be a great event to see a little bit about what they do. Greg Bender is one of the big home brewers that's involved with the Brewing Up a Cure program and the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Love him in Futurama.
Yeah. Is that his name? Is that the guy's name?
I was Bender.
I would totally. I'm removed from that show.
It's Bender. I don't know. I have no idea what his first name is.
That is right. But he's going to be doing his company, Soul Bender Brewing. He's going to be doing a pumpkin peach saison.
Beautiful.
In response to the Budweiser ad.
Why would you not?
Exactly. Red Star Kombucha, or is it kombucha? Kombucha.
Oh yeah,
I was going to botch that.
I've had kombucha. It's not that bad, but don't ever have it with the chia seeds.
Yeah.
It's awful with chia seeds. It's like drinking like swamp water with tadpole eggs in it.
Oh, that's nice.
It's horrendous.
We did a brew tour a couple weeks ago, Greg and I, and the last stop was at the Pittsburgh Public Market where Red Star Kombucha is, and that was the first time I ever had it, and not exactly in my wheelhouse, but I don't really have anything.
It's not bad. It's got a little spicy tone to it, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But if you get it with the chia seeds, chia seeds have this like slimy coating on the outside of them, and when it gets wet, it turns into slime. So they're all, like literally, it's like tadpole eggs in water, and that's the consistency that you're drinking. It was horrendous.
All right. Well, I don't know exactly if they'll be talking about that, but I
just had to throw that out.
They're going to be doing a kombucha demo at 1 o'clock during the event. There's also a PA brew tour centered around the event. It's going to focus on the difference between the differences and similarities between home brewers and pro brewers. That tour is going to include samples at Milkman Brewing and Grist House Brewing, and then at the East End Growler Shop, which is part of the Pittsburgh Public Market. What I'll do, there's a link that you can buy tickets to that. I'm going to post that on the PCBN app as part of the event for that brew tour, so you can log onto that, download the app, check that out, and get tickets to the event if you want to be part of the tour. So that's another big event. Not going to be able to make that. I got to conduct my own tour, so.
Oh yeah, there's
like I said, man, so much going on. It's a good time though.
Yeah, you can't make everything. You got to pick and choose what you want to do, and that's why it behooves a lot of these bars and everything to have big events like the oysters and the things that you're shutting down the street for and things like that, because that gets people there. If it's I like the tap takeovers, but everybody's doing one
I
of
think
those.
you're seeing more of an evolution in uniqueness now. People are
Right.
starting to do more big events or more unique events that are big draws. Because
Yeah,
the
well, that's
tap
why I'm
takeovers
very
aren't.
disappointed the Lebowski Fest isn't happening this year.
Yeah,
I'm really pissed off about
I
that.
talked to Matt at Fuhrer, and then he said it wasn't going to come together. That last year was one of my favorite events.
It was fun.
We had a blast at that event.
It was fun.
Oh, cool. We got Penguins on, too, and we need this win. So we'll get some background noise on that, too. So moving on in the events, of course, on Saturday, April 18th from 6 to 9 is the Commonwealth Press Beer Barge on the Gateway Clipper. I've been on 3 of those. I'm unfortunately going to miss this
You
one.
remember those?
I remember them all,
Oh, okay.
I think. And they're really good.
I remember I was on a boat.
I like this year that they are, and they did this in the fall, they're going to be focusing more on the local breweries and giving them the exposure on the boat too, which actually from a logistics standpoint makes it easier because we had to haul a lot of beer off that boat last year after the beer week beer march.
It seems like as every year that the beer week happens, Pittsburgh beer keeps growing as well with it. So,
yes.
4 years ago when it first started, there was really 2 prominent Pittsburgh beer companies as far as craft beer went.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot that are gaining steam and are really becoming, big things. That's when I first got introduced to Helltown was that first year. I had no idea who they are, and turns out, now they're really gaining steam.
Yep.
And, Milkman and Grist House, I didn't even
And
know
that's
they
just- I mean,
existed at that point.
and
Now
we can even
here
say,
we are.
You said 4 years, even a year ago. Grist House, Brew Gentleman, Hitchhiker,
Right.
Apis Mead, they weren't open
Nope.
at that beer bar.
Arsenal.
Now, and all 4 of them will be represented on
Arsenal
that boat.
Arsenal was barely even, off the
Yeah.
ground at that point. So there's
I'm not sure about when Arsenal opened. Do you know that stuff? When Arsenal came along and joined us?
I know that we've had Arsenal in our building for at least 2 years now.
Okay.
right.
So,
4 years ago,
so
it was
it might
probably
have
just
been
getting off the
longer
ground.
because I know
Yeah.
that they were in Fatheads first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know there's a lot going on, and there's going to be some good breweries featured on the barge. So if you were one of the fortunate few to get a ticket within the minute that it took for that event to sell out, congratulations and have a good time. So moving on for us, Sunday.
It's like a Stones concert.
What's that?
It's like a Stones concert.
Yeah, it really. Well, last year was 4 minutes, and then this year was a minute.
Wow.
So it's incredible how quick that
Sounds like my
sells
sex
out.
life.
All right, I'm not touching that one at all. I know Tiff.
I won't let you touch it.
That's good. That's probably good too.
Continue.
All right, Sunday, April 19th from 12 to 4:30, the Hardway Homebrew Competition at Hitchhiker Brewing. There's going to be 20-plus home brews on display for you to try. The winning recipe is going to be brewed by Andy and Tiffany at Hitchhiker. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know they did that last year when they
Right on.
The Real Ale Festival got canceled, and they had the homebrew competition at the Commonwealth warehouse down at the south side. And I believe the winning brew got to brew with, the brewery's slipping my mind now. I want to say that it's Helltown, but I can't say for sure. But I think that's really cool. It really gives the home brewers some incentive to put out some really good beer.
Yeah, absolutely. And they get, and most times a home brewer doesn't have access to a lot of the equipment and the technology that some of the ones that have grown have. So that's kind of awesome to allow yourself to be able to brew like that.
Yep. So just kind of whipping through the rest of these because we want to get to some of the other events that some of the bars are holding and talk about them and give them some good publicity. Tuesday, April 21st, all day at Mad Mex is the Gobblerito and Pumpkin pairing.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
my favorite game.
Yeah, I
usually.
love it. I do that every
Those
year. and
margaritas are amazing.
Yeah.
It takes a while to fully appreciate what I've just done to myself, but
Yeah,
after I digest everything, it's usually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with my
that's a
decision.
great day, and I'm a huge fan of Mad Max too.
Absolutely.
So,
So all Mad Maxes across Pittsburgh will have that all day long. Thursday, April 23rd from 6 to 9 at the Commonwealth Press Warehouse is the T-shirt art show, which I have attended a couple times. That's a lot of fun.
are they wet T-shirts?
They could be.
I'm bringing the hose.
Well, we're going to incorporate cheerleaders into something later on.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
I figured.
I feel as though Jerry would help you in that endeavor.
Okay, yeah.
All right. We got to get Jerry to pull up a
Yeah,
bag. Get some logistics worked
we're
out.
pulling up a truck with a water buffalo on the back. It's going down.
So Saturday, April 25th, as we said, and before I get into Saturday, Thursday is a crazy, ridiculous day. If you check out the PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com calendar, you're going to see so many events that are happening that day, and every one of them just like oh, that one looks cool. I'm gonna do that one. That looks. Oh, that one's. You just keep scrolling down. It's just one after another, and it's just.
And of course, Thursday's one of the days I manage to do anything really.
Yeah.
So
Suck.
awesome.
I'll be out and about.
I'm sure you will.
I'll take notes. I'll let you know what happens.
Oh yeah, take notes for me. Rub it in.
Pictures.
That too.
Hieroglyphics. Saturday, April 25th from 9:30 to 1, the East End Brewing Pedal Pale Ale Keg Ride. That's a pretty cool event too. But
yeah, they had the pedal bar at the Brew and Chew. It's one of the coolest things.
I heard rumors that the unofficial after party is at Oyster Fest.
Oh yeah,
Oh, look at that!
Yes,
Boom!
yes.
that ties together perfectly with
Boom.
Mike's Brews and Oyster Fest. Yeah.
Perfect.
What happens? I don't know if it has anything to do with the pedal bar.
Oh,
but
I thought
no, what they do is they have. I mean, you can ride a bike just normal,
okay.
but they also have some guys pulling a keg of the pedal pale ale that they make special for the event.
That makes more sense.
They take it by bike from the brewery down to an undisclosed bar, and I really don't know where, if that's even been announced yet. But they have a nice little bike ride down to the final destination, and everybody taps the beer and kicks off their day.
Probably
Good time.
it would make sense if it was what's the one down the south side?
OTB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the logical place to
Maybe.
end up.
Honestly, I
Or
could
maybe the one up in North Hill.
Yeah.
been-
See
you been to
somebody
that
pull
yet?
a keg from East End up to.
Have you been up to that one yet?
I haven't.
It's
At
pretty
the Boathouse,
awesome.
I heard it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
need
pretty
to check them out. We already talked about the Oyster Fest also happening on Saturday. This event's going to be really cool. Sunday, April 26th, the Brewers Olympics at Grist House Brewing. And let me bounce back real quick for the Pedal Pale Ale keg ride. It is a $25 ticket. Just wanted to throw it out there. You can get the link on the craftbeerweek.com website. Sunday the 26th at Grist House Brewing is the Brewers Olympics. It's going to pit, I believe it's at 15 breweries. I didn't count this, but
Yeah,
I'll
there's
just
a
read
bunch.
out the list. Church, East End, Hitchhiker, Spoonwood, Milkman, CoStar, Roundabout, Hot Farm, Rivertown, Shoe Brew, Brew Gentleman, and Grist House, all competing in
It's like a Billy Joel song.
feats of beer strength, I guess would be the best way to say it. Beer and brewing strength. I got a little preview from Matt at Hot Farm about what they're going to be doing in regards
There'll
to
be people
events.
swinging from the meat hooks.
Yeah, it's going to be craziness up there. It's going to be a good time. All 15, they're all, whatever number of breweries I just read off, is going to have beer on tap. So that's pretty cool. And that event's $15. That link will be posted on the app. And
What
also
day is that?
That's on Sunday the 26th.
I can do that.
You can do that.
Sweet.
And that one will be a really good time. So, in regards to big events, I think we got most of them. I don't know. I think we did pretty good.
Well, yeah, and it didn't take as long as you thought because we're only at 22 minutes.
So let's roll into some of the places that I speak to these on a personal level because I know what they do in regards to making Beer Week their little baby for that 10 days to put themselves on the map. You guys are doing an awesome job with just doing one huge event, and you're going to be hosting a crap ton of people down here, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So hats off.
Yeah,
to you
because
guys.
the waterfront's busy all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So to have that, like, you're going to have even stragglers like, hey, what's
And
going
then
on over there? You know?
Voodoo itself, Voodoo Brewery up in Homestead, they're doing their barrel age release that day as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to work out nicely.
Yeah, it'll be
our whole town will be busy.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is going to be
Yes.
a big day, and I
Yes.
think that's going to. As if you guys weren't on the map as it is. I mean, and I know people have been down here in Voodoo, and I know when I checked out Voodoo at the grand opening day, I was like, well, I'm in the neighborhood. I got to go to Blue Dust.
Yes, yes.
So we came over here to grab a bite to eat. This is going to put some serious emphasis on all the cool things that are happening in Homestead. I mean, you got guys nice little loop with them 2 blocks
Yeah.
away.
Right.
You got to hit both when you come down here. You
The
can't go to just
Homestead
one.
beer crawl.
Yes, exactly. And then he'll roll over the tracks to Rock Bottom.
Yeah, hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
go to the improv afterwards,
Right.
make a day of it.
Exactly right. So you guys are doing good. I'll tell you what. Caliente is somebody that we've talked about a lot. By now you've heard all the good things that they're doing over there. Beer Week, and I know this just from talking with Nick, also being there during Beer Week. Those guys use those 10 days they've used them in the past to truly make a name for themselves.
Right.
That's why we know so much about Caliente. It's because of what they do during
Right.
Beer Week. And you look at the evolution of what they've become since then. I mean, it's a year-round party at that place.
Yes, it is.
And it's led to expansion. They now have 2 locations. The beer selection keeps getting more and more ridiculous as the days go on.
Yeah, they're definitely scoring a lot of stuff that
Yep.
that there's a lot of places around here that can't get their hands on it.
Yeah.
They're getting it somehow.
And in talking with Nick, he told me what they that's why they love Beer Week so much, is because it gave them the perfect stage to showcase what they do and what kind of beers they carry and ultimately what kind of establishment they have. So 2015 for these guys is no different at all. They did a collaboration beer with East End Brewing called, let me make sure I got this right, East Caliente Hop Slice. It's going to be a double IPA coming in around 9%. Sounds like it's going to be pretty badass.
I'm already in.
Yeah. Now, the cool thing that I love about Caliente is we know officially Beer Week starts April 17th.
Right.
And to that they say, the hell with calendars, we're going to start on the 15th. So the East Caliente Hop
Rebels
Slice is going to tap on April 15th to kick things off. So more than likely I'm going to go down and do something with Nick to get that beer rocking and rolling for Beer Week. April 16th through the 26th, they're doing their third annual IPA challenge. They've got 20 IPAs that you can try and break down, and as the week goes on, it's going to get into a thinner third field, almost like the NCAA brackets. It comes down to what the best IPA is, and that goes throughout the whole course.
So I can pop this in here just because it's just what you just talked about. There was something I read today that I found very interesting. There's a magazine called Pace Magazine that had a taste test, a blind taste test on IPA, since they're having an IPA challenge type of thing.
Yeah.
They brought together 116 different IPAs, did a blind taste test over, I think, 11 days, and they ranked them they ranked 50 to 1, and everything after that, they just kind of, in no random order, just put them in there. Oddly enough, and I don't know if Stephanie's privy to
I am privy to this.
so did you see that? And
yes.
you're familiar with Brew Kettle up in Strongsville?
Yes.
It's very much like the with Huffs, where you can brew your own beer. They do the same thing. You can do the same thing there, but they also brew their own beer. And they have a beer called the White Raja IPA that won. Wow. And which is it's bizarre to me because reading through the list of beers, they beat some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Like Grapefruit Sculpin was 3. And I mean, some of the ones that didn't even make the top 50, I was like, wow. I'm surprised that they're not in the top 50. And there was some in the top 50 that was like also wowing. I'm surprised that they thought they were that good. Like,
right.
I love Two Hearted, but they ranked Two Hearted, I think, in the top 10.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a great IPA, but and they had a description and a reasoning for all of them.
I would be tainted because as soon as I tasted it, I would know. Oh, this is Two Hearted. That one's my favorite.
Right.
You know?
Right, but it's funny. Sculpin was 20. Grapefruit Sculpin was 3.
Yeah.
So, by the way, if you haven't got your hands on that yet,
Well, it's going to be tough now.
get your hands on that beer. It's fantastic. So, moving on, I just wanted to throw that in there because it was part of it. So, you read the article as well?
I did.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yes.
That's awesome. So again, I mean, I could go through this whole list, but if you follow Caliente or Pittsburgh Craft Beer Network on Twitter, you've seen this list come out. They've got just an absolutely ridiculous lineup of events going on in Bloomfield and Hampton, so both locations. They're doing a 24 IPA challenge from the 17th through the 25th up in Hampton, 16th through the 26th the IPA challenge in Bloomfield. Another big event Saturday, April 18th, the collaboration beer lunch. They're going to have all the collaboration beers from Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week that we'll talk about here in a few minutes. They've got very, very unique events throughout the week. One that I know stands out on Saturday night. This mirrors what they did last year at 7 p.m. First Saturday night, the 18th. They're tapping a barrel of KBS.
Okay.
Last year, that tapped in 17 minutes, or kicked in 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
Crazy. We sat there with our watches, just watching that crowd
Yep.
come to that like hummingbirds to a feeder.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. So that's going to happen again. Just to throw a cheap plug of my own in there, on Tuesday, April 21st, during the AleSmith Tap Takeover, I'll be there doing a special Pittsburgh Craft Beer Network download promotion. So if you're in there for some AleSmith, you're going to get a special deal to go along with that.
As Opie would say, that's a big old plugola.
It is a big old plugola. And honestly, like I said, I could read off everything, but
When are they going to do the
better
spin
off.
the wheel, make the deal event?
what's that?
Where they just spin a wheel and whatever comes up, that's what they're going to do, like old WCW matches.
I think they did it.
Coal miner's glove.
Maybe
beer.
Saturday, April 25th, Sour Saturday Video Game Challenge. There it is.
Nice.
We'll spin the wheel. The Video Game Challenge, I will throw it out there, that was a blast last year, too. The way that that's set up is they have video games set up on all the TVs. You play your brewery rep at their favorite video game. They had a Madden and, what else was there? Like NHL game. It was crazy. And if you beat your brewery rep, they buy you a beer.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. It was really cool. So that led into the KBS tapping. This year it's gonna lead into a Goose Island, Lolita, and Bourbon County event at 7 o'clock. So
You know my feelings on Goose Island.
I know, but I'll tell you what, AB owned or not, that's still solid beer because they really.
I know
didn't touch it.
that's why it upsets me that I will not drink it, is because their beer is very good, but I will not.
And then on Sunday, the 26th, last day of Beer Week, of course, you're going to want to go up to Grist House and check out the Brewer Olympics, but you can wrap up your day and your beer week with the unofficial send-off party at Caliente in Bloomfield, Dogfish Head Tap Takeover. That's pretty badass.
120? 120?
I don't know the list.
120?
I know there's some 120 going around during Beer Week. So
yeah.
Guys,
well, that one I know I can get to. So
Caliente's got a lot going on during Beer Week, so definitely check them out. So.
Oh yeah, well, one place we know of is Front Door Tavern up in Beaver Falls. Will have 120 on the 27th.
No, Beer Week, sorry, 25th, I thought he
25th,
said.
25th.
Yeah, I think that's what Heavy said.
Yeah. So 25th up there.
Yeah.
If you've never had it, you have to try it.
Yeah, you need to try it at least once. It's one of those things.
Well, you can only really have one. If you go any farther than that, you better call a designated driver to take you home. That's some serious business.
Yeah. So, as we said, Caliente is one of the bars that has really put themselves on the map with Beer Week. Another bar that's done a tremendous amount with Beer Week is Bachtown. Another great location or another great bar with 2 locations, one in Robinson, one in Monaca.
Yep.
You got a full week of events at both. What I love about what Bachtown's doing is they've got a big focus on the local scene.
Yes.
There's a lot of good events going on all week. They've got a PA tap takeover at both bars the entire Beer Week. We've got
Chris has got it
All
together.
Saints. Oh, absolutely, always. On Saturday, April 18th from 6 to 8 in Robinson, a double sampling with All Saints in Rivertown. Sunday, April 19th, Trub Homebrewer Showcase. So another opportunity to see what a lot of the homebrewers are doing here in Pittsburgh. This is one Tuesday, April 21st, a brewery that I've never heard of out of Rochester, PA, Brixton Brewing. You guys had anything from them?
No.
Okay. They're going to be doing a sampling there from 6 to 8. Then they're on the 22nd from 6 to 8, Beers of Northwestern Pennsylvania, featuring Lavery Brewing, Erie Brewing, and North Country.
Okay, nice.
Thursday is a Spoonwood sampling debut, so if you guys haven't checked out Spoonwood yet, you're going to get an opportunity to check out some of their beers at Bachtown, another great brewery in Bethel Park. Grist House is doing a sampling on the 24th, and then on the 25th is Kegs and Eggs, and that was an event last year that was awesome.
Beer and breakfast, man. It's
And we should say that on Sunday,
goes together like peas and carrots.
Absolutely. Before the Homebrewer Showcase, Jason and I are going to be sitting down with Chris, and we're going to be recording a special podcast where we're going to be sampling and talking about all of the collaboration beers that are getting debuted and all the one-offs that all the breweries came together and did for Beer Week. So that will be a good podcast. Look for that to drop midweek during Beer Week, but we're going to sit down with Chris on Sunday and put that together. It should be a lot of fun.
Let me ask Stephanie, now, Craft Beer Week's got to be like Black Friday when it comes to, hey, can you give me one too? As far as beer goes, so you're going to be like living here for that week?
Yes, I typically live here that week, and I will be here all day.
Okay,
the day
because I was wondering if
Bikes
you were
and
going to be able to
Swords
make it out for some of the other events that
I
are
am
going on.
attending one other event. I know that's for sure. There's a blindfolded bar crawl that I'm going to. It just sounded interesting.
Where's that at?
I believe it's in the south side.
That makes sense because they're very close to each other.
We're paired up with a partner. There's going to be Victory Beer at each bar, and then apparently Fireball as well.
Yeah, so speaking of Fireball, we experienced plenty of Fireball down in Virginia Beach when we went down a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I typically am not a liquor drinker. If I do, it's a gin and tonic or something like that.
Yeah.
But there was somebody brought a handle of Fireball, and so we had to kick that before we left. So in 4 days we kicked
how you
a handle.
vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So there was plenty of that. But so it sounds like Victory's sponsoring the event.
Yes.
I would imagine that. What are some of the big places? Is it like Smoking Joe's and or
Yeah,
is
but
it-
obviously most of the craft places I would imagine are involved. Yeah.
So that sounds like fun. So
It should be a good time.
Well, so how do they handle the whole blindfolded?
Well, we have a partner that we're supposed to bring with us, a trusted friend.
Like a seeing eye
yeah, kind of like a seeing eye dog.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that makes
Yes.
sense. I was just asking her, since this is like Black Friday for her for this coming week, that, is she going to be able to make it out for any of the other events? And she said she's definitely going to do the blindfolded bar crawl down the south side. So
Oh, yeah.
that sounded very interesting.
Usually, since we're closed on Monday, I make it to one or two things
Okay.
on the Monday.
All right, that makes sense
too.
then. Yeah, and I guess that's sponsored by Victory, so
Awesome.
that's good stuff.
So, continuing with the Bachtown, awesome events rolling out to Monaca, and they've got some very similar events. They're doing the Tap Takeover. They got a Kegs and Eggs on the 18th, acoustic showcase with Pat Heiserman on the 18th from 3 to 6. Out of Focus Brewing is another brewery that's looking to get rocking and rolling. Good chance to try out their beers. Shoe Brew's got a tasting there on the 22nd. Dry Log on the 21st. I'm doing an event there on Thursday the 23rd from 7 to 9 called Find Your Style.
Going Belgian, huh?
What?
Going Belgian.
Well, not with Dry Log's doing their own thing. What we're doing for mine is we're going to set up a probably 5 local beers of different styles, and you get one sip, and you have to determine what beer that is, what style that is.
Oh, okay.
And
That sounds
if
like
you can
fun.
take one sip and figure out what it is, and you get X amount right, which we haven't determined yet, then you're a lifesaver.
Oh.
Thank you, Steph.
Bless your heart.
You get to spin the Bachtown wheel of doom for some great Bachtown prizes. So that should be a fun event.
Oh, so there is a
7 to 9.
spin the wheel, make a deal.
Yes, there is at Bachtown. Spin
Will
the wheel,
Cactus
make a
Jack
deal.
be there?
Yes, he will. I'll be dressed up as Sting.
How about Jake Roberts?
The Cobra will bite me in the face. We're going back. No, we swore we wouldn't bring wrestling into our podcast anymore. So
Who said that?
I don't know. I said that in my head. I probably didn't tell you. We talked about it too much in the last one. So.
Well, no kidding.
Anyway, so again, Bachtown, another great bar doing good things. And continuing on with that, Huff's over in Greenfield.
My
Another
mouth is no longer on fire.
good. That's good to hear. Another good bar. It usually rolls out some tremendous events. I know here's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Saturday, April 18th, all day long, beer, bourbon, and bacon. Are there 3 better B
Those are-
words
those are
in the
good
world?
bees.
We don't need anything else.
No, none.
Some good bees.
Yeah, so that's going to be going on all day. Sunday the 19th, we got Shuffleboard with reps from Otter Creek, Wallivers, Victory, Dogfish Head, Oscar Blues, and other breweries.
Nice.
Can't beat that. Monday, on April 20th, from 6 to 10, I'll be there doing another download event for PCBN Mobile. That's going to tie in with the Beer Rep Olympics from 7 to 9. They're going to be doing Shuffleboard. It's day 2 of a 3-day showdown that's pitting East Coast beer reps versus West Coast reps.
Wow.
So the teams are consisting of the following. The East Coast is represented Dogfish, Otter Creek, and Victory, which is under Vicini Distributing.
Okay.
Plus Long Trail and Yards, which is under Fuhr.
All right.
They're taking on the West Coast of Green Flash, which is under Galli, Oscar Blues, which is under Vicini, Finches, which is under Wilson McGinley, and Lagunitas.
How's that West Coast? That's from Chicago.
Finches? I guess
Yeah.
they cut off the Mississippi.
Yeah, it's cut off at the
I think that's,
Mississippi.
they've always considered that
So
West
it was Finches, and what was the last one?
Lagunitas.
Yeah, good luck, East Coast.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's
my
not
money's
so much.
off.
Well, it's not so much the beer; it's the reps that have to
Okay.
win these games. They rep that particular brewery.
Well, if they send one of the reps that was at the Bruin Shoe from Yards, they win.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna marry Tom Brady's kid.
Woohoo! What was the one that I wanted to talk about that they're doing? Where did it go? Oh yeah, the Cloud Shoes beer brunch on April 19th at Haas. We went to the Great Lakes one last year.
Delicious.
Great infused drinks with
Yes.
the beer and cocktails that paired with the breakfast. Obviously, is
Yeah, I
awesome.
actually saved. Well, got my new phone now; it's screwed. But I actually saved a lot of those recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Of the drinks that they had with beer and liquor and beer and ginger beer and all that, vodka and stuff like that. There was some really good stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Plus the food,
Those are
some of the
always
food was
fun.
made with the beer. It was really good.
So all of Huff's events are on PCBN Mobile and on PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com, so check them out in either location. Wexford Ale House is another bar that's doing some good things up and coming
Love
up
them.
in Wexford.
Good food there, too.
Oh, yeah. Tuesday, April 21st from 6 to 8, they're doing a Thirsty Dog Barrel Aged Tap Takeover. Some of the beers that are a part of this include Barrel Aged Wolver, Barrel Aged Siberian Night, and Old Leg Humper aged in coconut rum barrels.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, that's actually on my itinerary is to do Goblerito and Pumpkin, then roll up to Wexford Ale House for that beer alone.
That'd be interesting because coconut rum aged in a barrel is so rare in and of itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and I can do the same thing. I can hit Goblerito Day and then head south and meet you at...
We'll meet at Wexford.
Right.
All right, we've got one set planned
That's
out of
a-
300 some events to
Yeah, well, we also... What day? That's the 21st.
That is the 21st.
We also have the podcast and the brunch.
We do?
Wasn't that Tuesday?
No. It's Sunday.
Sunday. All right.
How's
forget I said
that IPA treat?
No, forget I said anything.
I usually do.
I'm trying to get my schedule set.
So, Wexford Ale House also doing April 22nd beer trivia with Yards. They're going to have beer-centric trivia with the Yards rep. They're going to have some swag. They're going to have some Yards beer on, so that'll be a
Stuff
cool
we all
event.
get.
That is the definition. You're on fire tonight, man. It's not
I
just the
gotta
beer.
I gotta break up the monotony of the events, for God's sakes.
yeah.
I gotta bring some humor to this.
I'll keep trying. And then on Thursday, April 23rd,
I'm failing miserably, but I'm trying.
Small plate beer and food pairings with full pint brewing. So a lot of good stuff going on up at Wexford. All right. So
Holy crap!
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's break up the events a little bit. I mean, excuse me. Only have a couple more to talk about, but let's break it up and talk about the collaboration beers.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. My voice is getting a little hoarse. I'm handing over the agenda to you, sir.
Have some habanero sculpin. It'll clear that right up for you,
You
buddy.
read it off. So what I did is I just broke down who brewed what and the ABV that we're expecting. So there's some good beers coming out this year. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, so first off, we have the East Caliente Hop Slice, which we already talked about.
Talked about that one, yeah.
Double IPA with East End Brewing and Caliente, looking at about 9% there.
Yeah.
So right up my alley. Sounds great.
Yep.
King,
9% double IPA.
yes.
Okay, I'm in.
King Crimson Hoppy Brett Red by Church Brewers, Draylog, and 11th Hour, 7%ish. So sour.
I would guess.
Brett Red, so sour.
I
right?
would, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a sour red, so that should be pretty interesting. Old Geyser, India Pale Lager, which is starting to become a new
New
segment
trend.
of the beer community.
Yep.
That's Penn, Roundabout, and Voodoo, about 6% on that one. This one is going to be very interesting. The Shoe Full of Bees.
Yeah. That one jumped out at me.
It's an Imperial IPA, which obviously is going to be brewed with honey.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously shoe brew, full pint, and the Apis meadery. So meaderies, that's a honey based
Yeah.
Yes.
alcohol. So I would imagine this is going to be a honey. So
And if
That's
you
the
guys,
one
I
I'm
mean, and
most
everybody knows
excited about.
Dave knows his shit, so he's gonna.
yeah,
have a-
9%, 9% on this one too. I will
And I mean, all of them do, obviously. But
I will
in regards to
forewarn
the
anybody who's going to drink this beer, be careful. Because any beer, at least in my experience, that has honey in it or that kind of residual sugar will give you the hangover of your life. So be careful, folks. But I'm sure it's going to taste wonderful.
That said, it is beer week, so live a little.
Little. Yeah.
That is true.
Take it a hangover or two.
You know,
I know someone who makes delicious Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
would it be here?
Yeah, that would be me.
I've heard this about you, Steph. I know.
All right, we got Seasons of Hell, a Saison by one of my local favorites. One of my, actually, not just local favorites, one of my favorite beer companies, Helltown, and Four Seasons, 6% on that one. Magnus Avignon, it's a German pale lager by Rivertown and All Saints. It's about 6%. Oh, they got cheeky. 50 Shades of Grain. It's by Roggen Beer. It's a Roggen Beer or Rye Ale. It's either or, so I don't know if they know what exactly it's going to be.
I think Roggen beer is that's what rye ale is. I believe
Okay, so that's just the other definition.
Yeah,
for lager.
exactly.
I sound like an idiot. East End, Spoonwood, and Co-Star, about 6.3%. For Wheat's Sake, a wheat IPA by Grist House, Hop Farm, and Hitchhiker, about 6.5. And this is the most interesting one of them all.
Yes, it is.
The Ghoul Branch Burrito Spear. It's a light American ale by Rock Bottom, Milkman, and Bloom Brew. Now, here's the kicker. It's brewed with Doritos.
Yes, it is.
So this is you have to just because you have to.
I'm interested just in the texture.
Yeah,
How they-
it's gonna be like sandy.
Yeah.
Like it's got little grits. in
Well,
it.
what I read is it was in. They added I think it was Cool Ranch Doritos to the mash, and I read.
Also, it's Cool Ranch on top of everything else.
I read, and I think if I'm recalling, I think it was Bloom Brew that had posted the picture of the meeting of the minds when they were putting this together, and there was just beer and a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos sitting on the table, which is
Very
awesome.
nice. Can you imagine cleaning that fermenter? Oh, that's disgusting.
God.
Just soggy, nasty Doritos in there.
But I'll tell you what, I've heard some crazy stuff put into beer, and it's come out really good. At the end.
Sure.
Yes.
So I think this is going to be one that.
Oh no, I'll never knock it, man. Beer is definitely one thing that is no holds barred.
Yeah.
Whatever and wherever you can find it, do it. Try it out. Again, like I said, Sam from Dogfish had decided he was going to spit in beer, and every time they have it down there, they sell out of it. So
I
Yeah.
had that my first night
Did
of
you?
vacation when I was down there. She
I
gave us.
I wanted to have it just to try it. Just
She
say
gave
that-
us
say I did it.
samples of the chicha.
Was it good?
Didn't tell us what we were doing. As I was drinking it, she told us the story, and my face just literally melted off. I was just
Well,
like, oh my God, no.
but how did it taste
It was,
before that?
It was delicious.
Oh, see, there you go.
It was delicious.
It was like almost like a sweet corn flavor to it.
Oh, nice.
But I couldn't finish it. I was like, no.
After you found
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
what the
that's
backstory.
right, yeah.
I actually last year at the Pirates opener, I had my friend Jim had some friends in, and we were all talking at the bar before the game, and he had it. I've never had it. And he was telling me about it. And he pretty much said the same thing. He finished it. He had one, and he said that was really all I could have. But he didn't have anything bad to say about it.
Yeah, I know
So
what it
that's-
is, and I would just do it just to do it. Well,
Sure.
and there's
You got to get that untapped narc to go up.
There's apparently an Icelandic beer that is brewed with whale balls,
Sure.
smoked whale balls, and I would do it just to say that I drank that beer, just to say I did it.
Yeah.
Novelty. That's
it.
part of the
But-
game sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of
Pumpkin peach,
all
baby.
breweries have their flagships, and then there's your one-offs, and Whale
Cigar-
Balls is a one-off.
Cigar City's made a career of making weird beers, man.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So anyway,
Oh, Highlight was way up on
again,
that list of IPAs too.
we've mentioned that before, and obviously the list has got it's evolved and grown from years past. But these collaboration beers to me, it's a true testament of what these guys are doing on a local level, and it's awesome that they can come together and take all of their skill sets and let them mesh together to come up with these beers, and they really think outside the box. And
Right.
what's also cool is you go over this list, you're not seeing a lot of repeats. I mean, you got a couple double IPAs, but again, made differently. They're going to have their own unique characteristics. So even if the style is mirrored, you're seeing some variation.
Right.
And that's what's going to make all of them take off. I mean, that's what was cool. I think last year, if I'm recalling it right, and I had a lot of them, so I can't really remember too well. I don't think any of them mirrored the other. I think it was all every one of them was different. So
Yeah, there
that's
seems to
really
be a
cool.
good, nice mix there.
Absolutely.
And,
so.
and they communicated with each other, and they let each other know what they were doing,
Yep.
so they didn't double up anything.
Yep, so Caliente's got those going on, and they're going to have them all on. Bachtown's going to have them. You're going to find
How do you think that conversation went when they're like, yeah, we're going to brew a beer with Doritos? And everybody's like,
all right.
yeah, nobody thought of that, so you're good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Funyuns, but
Right.
we'll let you guys run with it. So that's going to be pretty cool. So
I'm thinking pork rinds.
have you guys checked out the Independent yet?
I haven't.
haven't.
I was going to meet a friend of mine there, and plans went south, and it didn't happen, but I had planned on going there, and it just didn't happen.
Love me some Independent. That place is great. If you haven't checked out the feature I've got going on them on the Craft Beer Spotlight this month on Breaking Brews, you can do that. Just visit breakingbrews.com and click on Craft Beer Spotlight. Got a nice write-up on Pete and the gang up at Independent. Friday, April 17th, they've got the Iron Brewer Challenge going on. This is a new, unique event to Craft Beer Week. They've got 3 breweries participating, which was Full Pint, Rivertown, and Lavery. Each brewed 1 firkin. All firkins contain the same secret ingredient added to a beer of their choosing. And what they're going to do is have all 3 tapped. You get a flight with all 3. And
That's where the Funyuns come into play.
maybe. Not necessarily. I don't know with those guys. Yeah.
I was joking. But
No, I know.
But
I'm just trying to
continue.
think of one of those guys that would actually even go down that road.
it's one ingredient.
I really doubt that Funyuns were the secret ingredient either. Nevertheless, you'll get a scorecard and you rate which beer you like the best, and they tally it up, and there'll be a champion crowned. Pretty cool event. This one, I think, is going to be one of the events of the week, and I'm not going to read the menu for time purposes, and you all can read, so you don't need me to do this, but Tuesday, April 23rd from 7 to 10. Good point. Pogo and Hops. It's a rum and beer dinner with Maggie's Farm Rum and Four Seasons Brewing. I've got the full breakdown of that on the PCBN app of all the courses and everything they're going to do. Just click on the event in the calendar. You'll see everything they're doing. But Pete hit a home run here. He's got 2 award winners in Maggie's Farm Rum and Four Seasons coming in with their beer. They're going to do pairing with a 4-course meal. Their executive chef's going to she tears it down. Her food's amazing. So combine that all. That's going to be one hell of an event. Tickets are $100 for that event. I think when you see the menu, it's well worth it. So the link to that is also with...
They'll sell out.
Absolutely.
It sounds expensive.
Yeah,
it sounds expensive, but you're getting premium everything.
You're getting exactly what you're paying for. It's going to be a badass event. So that's pretty much everything on their end. Smokin' Joe's is doing a Rivertown VIP brewery getaway on Wednesday, April 22nd from 7 to 9. Stop in and have some Rivertown beer and get entered to win a brewery tour from Rivertown. Have you guys been to Eliza's Oven in Pittsburgh Public Market?
I don't know where you find the time, sir.
Me?
Yes.
I got all kinds of time.
Apparently, because you're like, have you been to all these places everywhere in Pittsburgh? I'm like, no, I haven't.
Come on, live a little.
I can't live a little. I just physically can't do it.
Eliza's Oven is a really, really cool place. She does baked goods with local beer, local whiskey. Freaking killer stuff.
Nice.
One of the big staples of any brew tour that goes through the public market is they get a beer cookie from Eliza's. I felt like a 10-year-old on the last one. I was like, can I have another? Can I have another? They were so freaking good. But
Oliver Twist.
East End is right. Yeah, exactly. East End Growler Shop is right behind her station, and she uses a lot of their beer in her in the stuff she creates. She's got 2 really cool events going on during Beer Week. On the 19th, she's doing a Green Flash beer brunch with the Green Flash Brewing Company from 11 to 2. It's going to be a 4-course brunch. Tickets are $40 for that. You can find the link on the app and on PCB or PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com. And then on Thursday, April 23rd, she's doing Pies and Pints with Hot Farm Brewing, which is going to be another 4-course dinner. Tickets are $50 for that. We got the link for that on the app as well.
Try her hair of the dog lady fingers.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's oh man, I can't think of. She does these like pretzel things. You know what I'm talking about, Steph?
Pretzels?
They're like a pretzel, like a soft pretzel with
pretzels.
Some sort of beer. Yes.
The Bavarian pretzels.
We'll call it that. Yeah.
Dipped in beer are amazing.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, she knocks it out of the park. So go down and check her out at the public market. A lot of good stuff going on there.
And I was wondering if Maggie's Farm was based on Bob Dylan's Maggie's Farm or Rage Against the Machine's Maggie's
Bob Dylan's.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, Tim, so you can smack me, but I'm pretty sure it's Bob Dylan. Finally, one brewery and note to talk about. I mean, again, a lot of the breweries are doing a lot of samplings around the city. Everybody's involved highly. Brew Gentleman's doing some cool stuff. I just wanted to. This one jumps out because it's just funnier than hell. On Monday, April 20th, from 5 to 11. 420, an arbitrary party for no reason whatsoever. They can't remember why they're having the party. They think they have a food truck, which is Mac and Gold Truck. They said to come hungry, but they feel that probably won't be an issue.
No.
Great description, should be fun as hell.
Wait. Where's this again?
Monday, April 20th from 5 to 11 at Brew Gentleman at the tap room.
Incidentally, I'm off on Monday.
All right.
I might have to make an appearance.
Somebody's going to have the munchies.
This is actually really cool. This event combines, it should be called the Class of May 2014 in regards to opening up. The Freshman Cask at Brew Gentleman is going to take place Wednesday, April 22nd from 6 to 11. Features the Brew Gentleman, Grist House, Hitchhiker, and Apis Mead and Winery, which all opened within weeks of each other last May. And all 4 of them are killing it in their with their respective beers and mead and wine. They've all done a special cask for the event. It's going to be really cool to come down and get a chance to meet all the brewers, sample all their products. Pittsburgh Taco Truck's going to be in the house, so always good eats with those guys. Definitely want to check out that event.
Absolutely.
Thursday, April 23rd, they're doing a reverse tap takeover with the Independent. What's a reverse tap takeover? Your eyes are telling me.
Was I that out there for you?
Yes.
You got what I was...
I got that loud and clear, sir.
All right.
So instead of them doing a tap takeover at the Independent, Pete and Monique, the executive chef at Independent, they're going to come down to the Brew Gentleman, and they're going to handle the... Pete's actually going to be curating the music for the evening, and Monique's going to be handling all the food truck duties. So
Right
it's
on.
another reason to come down to Brew Gentleman and check out what's going on there.
Yes.
And then they're doing a brisket event with Blowfish Barbecue on Friday the 24th. And they usually do a barbecue event every Friday, but hey, it's beer week. Come down and have some good grub and good beer. And I'll tell you what, that taps out the list, man. Like I said, I could go on and on, but I think, the fact that we spent this much time talking about all this good stuff just shows how great Beer Week's going to be.
PCBW.com.
Actually, PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com.
Oh, it is spelled
I don't know
out.
if they own the abbreviation or not. They may. I don't know.
No. It's full Pittsburgh.
Oh, is it? I thought
Yeah,
maybe they shortened it.
They might add that as a full. Yeah,
Or
PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com.
even hashtag that. Find them on Twitter, all that stuff.
Yeah, so just to give them, more hats off on everything they've done to put this event together. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun, a great 10 days. At bars around the city, pick up your Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week printed magazine guide. Download the PCBM mobile app. I'm going to have a lot of events posted on there as well. PCBW 2015. Start over. Hashtag PCBW 2015 is a good way to hashtag all your tweets, all your
Anything
pictures on
involving,
Instagram.
Craft Beer Week, sure.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of ways to interact because Lord knows you can't make it to every event, but thanks to social media, you can feel connected to a lot of it.
Absolutely.
So, where are we at time-wise, sir?
We're at 56 minutes.
Woo! Came in under budget. I like it.
One thing I wanted to go over real quick. I know, we've been talking a lot about local beer. There's one big story in national craft beer news that I wanted to cover before we ended this because I would forget about it between now and next week. The former CEO of Harpoon Brewing has launched a new craft beer venture that is actually pretty awesome. It's called Enjoy Beer LLC. And as we know, I mentioned Goose Island earlier, a lot of craft beer companies, once they get to a certain level, they're starting to get gobbled up by Anheuser-Busch. And one of the things that is very important in the craft beer world is what they call craft ethos, and that's the belief in craft beer, that they do it not just for the money, but the love of beer and the art and everything. And what he has actually created, and his name is Rich Doyle, is a company that that will step in when a craft beer company becomes large enough to give them resources that a big company can give without them selling out to Anheuser-Busch or to Molson Coors or whoever they want to, it might be.
Definitely helps preserve our craft.
Right, and like I said, the reputation is one of the big things in the craft beer industry, and it helps them to do what they need to do without becoming a faceless multinational company. And one of his quotes is said, "I hate to see a great brewery make a deal with a company that swallows them up and makes them lose their character. We're trying to get to them first." So somebody's doing something about this ridiculousness where Anheuser-Busch goes in and buys these companies that we look to and go, I can't, like Elysium was the most recent.
And that's also
Great
important
beer.
for us as bar managers and as bar workers, because our place is a small business. Every
Right.
place that we talked about today is a small business.
Right.
Exactly. And what he has created is a place for these. By that point, they're not really small businesses anymore, but they're still not in the craft beer the cloud of the huge ones. But they're looking for direction, and that's actually what happens is they get to a point, we don't know how to get bigger. We don't have the resources, we're not sure what to do, and that's where they swoop in and go, well, we'll do it. And then what happens is Anheuser-Busch buys them, shuts them down, gets rid of them, whereas they're going to step in and say, we know how to do it, we're going to come in, and we're not going to shut you down, we're going to give you all the tools you need to be able to grow bigger than what you're able to do just on the research.
That's pretty awesome.
It is very awesome.
I often wonder, I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum on our show because we kicked off over a couple of beers right after the Super Bowl where that ad aired.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're now, 2.5 months removed from that ad first coming out. They're still running it.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes me
angry every time I see it.
But it makes me, like, with what I'm about to say, it's almost rhetorical. I know the answer, but you have to wonder if they sat there and just kicked themselves in the ass for all, like, that 1 minute ad has
They got a
spawned
lot of bad press
so
on it.
much pushback, and programs like this, breweries taking more awareness of what they're doing. It's coming out and being, giving them the middle finger and saying, this is what we're doing, this is what we believe in. That 1 minute, and you look at, I had wrote an article about this a couple weeks back about beer weeks in general and how over 100 cities are having their own beer weeks now.
Yes.
We don't have that. We didn't have that when it was Budweiser ruling the realm. It's because of what these local guys do. They're the ones that they light the fire. There's national breweries that come in and their wares are available here, but these local guys are the ones that make our scene a hotbed. And
Right.
That's why you hear me talk a lot about what our local scene is all about. And you get these national breweries to add to it, it just makes the whole thing better. It allows us to take 10 days. We just spent an hour talking about what the next 10 days, or not the next 10 days, but 17th through the 26th is going to bring us.
Right.
It's because of things like that. And it might be short-sighted on their part to make an ad about it. They might have just been trying to have fun without realizing what the consequences were.
We're mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore.
That's exactly right. I think there was those of us that knew that we weren't going back to that beer. Those that were on the fence that have had it and just were, maybe it's good. Forget it, we're done, we're moving on, we're done with it.
At the very least, they pushed a lot of people to start drinking Sam Adams. At the very least.
Yeah. Right. And you know what? I don't, personally, I'm not a Sam Adams fan, but...
Oh, by the way, can I... Yingling being the top craft beer, we missed this too. What a bunch of shit.
Well, I'm not...
Craft beer, really? That's what that is?
It's craft beer. Yingling.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yingling is one of those beers that, again, I'm gonna go to this like I always do. It's a transition beer. I think we drank it young. You can easily ease into a pale ale from a Yingling or a Boston Lager. That's how I've always seen Yingling, and it has its place. It really does. I mean, I know you're saying that's a crock of shit. I don't agree with you because I feel that they're from a scaling perspective.
How much are they paying you?
They're a craft. I'm not disclosing that on the air.
Okay.
They are a craft brewery from a scaling perspective. Now, their beer isn't necessarily what we gravitate towards, but their beer still holds a place in the market, and they're so small. They're only available in like 10 or 12 states, or I don't know the exact, but it's a low number.
I know. I don't understand the novelty of it, but there's
a lot of people drink.
Dude, there's Yingling Light, and Black and Tan, and that's all they have.
I think they have a couple more.
I think
Do
they
they?
make a porter as
Yeah,
well.
now they have a summer ale, I believe, and they're listen, they're branching.
All right, I'll give them credit for that.
I'm not putting up there with my top, like Southern Tier and Stone and Lagunitas, like my top favorite breweries. I'm not putting them up there. But I'm not going to discount what they've done because I think they're one of those ones that, just from my perspective, they're one of the ones that their product's not what we gravitate
Michelob
towards,
has a
but it's
porter
there.
too, by the way.
Amberbach?
No, they have a porter.
Oh, do they? I'm not drinking. They're not paying me like Yinglings, but they.
Right.
I just see them as a brewery that they're a nice stepping stone into some of the other beers that are a little bit more. I don't want to say out there, but they're a little bit more in regards to the styles that we go to. So
yeah, they don't have just a bland
shit.
Pilsner or anything like that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe being number one, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but
they're just number one in volume.
Well, there you go.
But that was my problem, was that they were like putting them in the same category as Stone and like those breweries as they sell more craft beer than anybody else, and I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah. But again, you know what?
If you don't have an IPA, you're not a craft brewing company.
No, I'm not going to agree with you there either because that's Dry Log's a brewing company. They don't have an IPA. I'm just saying, like, you got to think about it.
But they're Belgian.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't mean they're not. It's just saying that they are going a different direction. The point is that
IPA's not even in Belgian's vocabulary.
No, but you can't say they're not a brewing company because they don't have that offering. That's my point.
Touche, Dick.
I win. But my point, again, I'm a very local-centric guy, and I feel that, Yingling's PA, that's pretty cool. But we've got enough beer on a local level here in Pittsburgh that rivals and beats it to death.
Oh, I know.
Drink local. Hashtag drink
Yes.
local.
Hashtag drink
That's how I'm wrapping it up.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
Boom.
Gonna do the
Hashtag.
Jimmy Fallon.
Boom.
Boom. All right, so guys, thanks for tuning in for this special podcast of Over a Couple of Beers. I want to thank Stephanie from Blue Dust
Thanks
for
for
sitting
having
with us.
me.
Yeah, great time sitting down with you. And thanks again for letting us record the podcast here at Blue Dust. Again, Oyster Fest, April 25th. Get down here and check that out from 1 to 10. It's going to be a blast. And
Two
I'll be here.
podcasts next week, folks.
Yeah,
two
we're
of
going
them.
to overload your ears, so make sure you have your aspirin ready because you're going to have a
Yeah, and if you don't like us,
audible
boy, you're
hangover.
screwed next week.
Yeah. I know that off button's not going to work either, lining that up. So I'm going to say to that, guys, peace out. Thanks again, and we'll see you at PCBW and PittsburghCraftBeerWeek.com. Check them out for everything you need to know.
At Jason P. Collins on Twitter.
At Jason P.
Any
Collins on
plugs
Twitter.
other than Blue Dust? Any?
Oh, at Blue Dust 1 on Twitter, yes.
Yes.
At Blue Dust 1
Yes,
on Twitter.
Download PCBN Mobile.
Yes, definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers.